Live from the PCTV studios, the Monday Morning Quarterback. Your host, Dave Ridenour.
And good evening, everyone, and welcome to yet another edition of the Vlahos Dunn Insurance Monday Morning Quarterback Show. I'm Dave Ridenour, the Monday Morning Quarterback, and tonight we have a special for you, our annual award show from the Monday Morning Quarterback Studios here at the PCTV Network. It's always a fun show. We got a couple games to break down and look at. We got Coach Pennypacker here. We got a couple special guests waiting in the wings as well. So we're going to take our quick time out. We're going to get organized and ready to go. When we come back, Rick and I are going to break down the Pottsgrove game from last week, look a little ahead to the Pottsgrove Bethlehem Catholic game, and then get our special guests right here on the show. So sit back and enjoy the Vlahos Dunn Insurance Monday Morning Quarterback Show.
Stay tuned for more Monday Morning Quarterback right after this.
At Vlahos Dunn Insurance, we understand what moves people in business and in life, and we use this knowledge to better serve our clients. And we bring the same work ethic and commitment to our business as our customers do theirs. Vlahos Dunn Insurance, providing quality coverage to the Tri-County area since 1994. So call our knowledgeable staff.
Hi, I'm Jim Vlahos of Vlahos Dunn Insurance, and we're in your community.
Doc's Irish Pub, the hottest new sports bar around. From live entertainment to countless draft beers, from awesome burgers to the new outside tiki bar. Numerous TVs and Doc's friendly service. Doc's Irish Pub is the place to be. Stop by Doc's today for a leisurely lunch, a quick cold beer, or a delicious bite to eat on a fall night. Doc's Irish Pub. This portion of Monday Morning Quarterback is brought to you by A to Z Furniture. A to Z Furniture is located on 296 South Reading Avenue in Boyertown.
Back here on the set at the Pottstown High School Studios, the PCTV Network Studios, Dave Ridenour, joined by Rick Pennypacker. And Rick, your former school first round of the state playoffs, they're moving on. Big game. I mean, it was crazy with the weather and everything else with the snow, and it was very cold up there. But the Grove made a big trip up to Northern Lehigh to take on Jersey Shore, and a Jersey Shore team that was no joke. I mean, they were a tough group of kids and a real tough first-round game for the Pottsgrove Falcons.
Yeah, and, when you looked at the statistics, Jersey Shore came in and I think Pottsgrove took away the run game and made them throw the ball. But, again, we said this last week in the game, and I'll say it again, if Pottsgrove can run the football, stop the run, you're going to win, and that's what they did. They ran the ball for over 300 yards. They held Jersey Shore to 48, 50 yards rushing. I'm not sure what it was, but you give them credit. It was a game that they had to go to Northern Lehigh after they were supposed to play at Phoenixville, and but Coach Hawthorne, his staff, and his players deserve a lot of credit. They were prepared. They played well, and I'm sure that they will watch the film, but they made some mistakes. There's some things they got to correct, but I'm sure they'll get that corrected for this week.
Well, particularly in the first half, I thought they played very well. It was kind of shaky from the opening kickoff, though, as Jersey Shore took the ball and went right down the field. Right. They had 70 yards, 9-play drive, and they had some little play-action passes, and they caught some guys open in the flat. flat area, and their quarterback, Tanner Thorson, was a pretty good quarterback. He threw the ball a lot of times, and he had a couple of drops, but he moved the ball pretty well, and they scored. They drew first blood. They were up 7-0 before anybody was really even in their seats, and it was a little bit concerning for Pottsgrove at that time, but they turned around and put together some good offense of their own.
Yeah, and District 4 up there is no joke. I remember last year when Selinsgrove, they were the team that came out of District 4, and the playoffs were a little bit different than it was this year. The District 4 played somebody, and then they played the winner of us and Becca. And Selinsgrove last year I think Becca beat them by 3 points. So, that district's not. They play some good football. Even though Selinsgrove record was not what Pottsgrove's is. They had 5 losses, but still they lost some very good teams. They play Southern Columbia and Central Columbia and Loyal Sock up there. Yeah. And so I know that's pretty good football.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, they had a couple of players that really stuck out. They had a nose guard that you had told me about that you saw a couple things on film as when you're watching some different things. The little David Tomes kid as a nose guard. I said he reminded me of some of your guys.
Right,
the Demetrios and the Glennons. He was a tough little quick guy inside and made good penetration. I know Isaiah Taylor even mentioned him after the game that he was certainly a tough kid and a handful to block. But they got it done. As you mentioned, they ran for over 300 yards, which is always a good sign. And Taylor broke a couple long ones, as he's been doing here in the latter part of the season.
Yeah, and the offensive line from Pottsgrove, their front 6 up there played very well. And one thing I saw on film that I haven't seen very much this year, the wide receivers blocked a little bit better for Pottsgrove this week. And I thought, I don't know if that was just an emphasis of Pottsgrove, but you still, if you can run the football this late in the year and you can stop the run, you got a great chance. And Pottsgrove special teams are getting better. They played a little bit better this week, I thought. So overall, I thought it was a great game for them. They're moving on. You win and you move on, and Now they move on to the big one.
Well, the fullback, the young sophomore, was a bigger part of the offense than normal. He got the ball a lot in the second half. He had 13 carries for nearly 70 yards, but he was a load in that second half particularly. I was a little surprised, though, Rick, that Jersey Shore was jumping into like a 7-man front. It almost looked like a goal line defense. Had Pottsgrove a little bit off balance there in the first half of the game. Then they made some adjustments and did a little better against that defense in the second half.
Yeah, they run that bear front. They were running the bear front all year, and I don't know how much they ran it, but they cover the nose guard, they cover the tackle or the guards. They play a 0 and 2-3 techs, and they put 2 linebackers stacked behind them, and so it's kind of hard to get that backside linebacker. And in the beginning of the game, Pottsgrove was having a hard time getting that kid, but they got some combo blocks going. They made a couple adjustments on some of their blocking schemes, and again, when you run the bear front, if you get someone to get that 3 technique, just wall off a little bit. Your fullback's going to have a big game, and he did.
He certainly did. And then, of course, Jay Cisco, a guy that just keeps amazing everyone back there. He had some big conversions on third down when he had the little, RPOs or run-pass options or just the fake inside, and he kept it around the outside and picked up some big first downs, Rick, to keep drives alive.
Yeah, and I don't know how much Billy's audible, and, we used to audible a lot. We used to tell our kids, when if you see a triangle outside the tackle, you audible to the other side, and it always seemed like Cisco was running the play where the triangle was, and so he did a good job, and he's quick, he's fast, and he's a heady kid, and he's doing a great job for him.
Fake punt, which was impressive too. I'm like, where's
Coach Ford?
Yeah, they're going fake punt. I know because we've been heaping praise on Coach Ford, and in the last couple of games where they had a hiccup or two on the special teams, and we were giving the business. But yeah, real nice. And I'll tell you what, it wasn't a real good spot either. The side judge came in and made it a lot closer than what it was. I thought he was well past the line. It was darn close, but they did get the first down.
Yeah, and you got to give Mike Serini continues to do the job as special teams. He's been doing it all year, and the nice thing I like about Pottsgrove too is Ford is now putting on some of his first teamers on special teams. He and I used to fight about that all the time. But I know they have Bedolas running down there, Adams running down there. Those 2 guys, you'd have to almost beat them to get them off the special teams. But they do a good job, and they're moving on. You give them a lot of credit. It's something that has been a bad taste in people's mouths at Pottsgrove because we always had the first round, and we always played a Catholic school. We always played Archbishop Wood Becca. They get out of that. Now they're playing another public school like themselves, and they win and move on. So it's a great job.
It is, and it is the first state win, state playoff win in the school's history. It's their 12th win of the season, 12-1 they are now. Their lone blemish against PV. But again, Rick, they had 17 first downs. They controlled the football. And what I was impressed with, and it was a crappy day. It was really nasty.
Yeah, it was an ugly
Five
night.
penalties was all that Pottsgrove 5 for 40 yards. I know Billy had been concerned
Yes, he
about
was.
that, but Friday night they did a nice job staying away from the Hankies.
Yeah, overall, it was what you want as a coach. You want to see you run the ball, control the football. You don't want to have to be throwing the ball. I don't know what they had, 3 yards passing, 4 yards passing.
Yeah,
Pottsgrove, 2 yards
Yeah,
passing.
2 yards.
But when you can just dominate up front and let those big boys up there, lock up on people and move them out of the way and get, that's what you want. As a coach, and those offensive linemen, they want to do the same thing. They want to pound up front and they want to go after it.
Well, they certainly did, and did a great job, particularly on the defensive side of the ball in the second half. Got a little hairy there when it was 14-10, and Jersey Shore was throwing the ball and getting some yardage. But the young guys, Riley Howard, and of course Jamal Springfield with the big INT at the end of the game to seal the victory, and it was party time for the Falcons.
Yeah, and they deserve it. And it's a big win for them, and the seniors. That senior class over there has won three district championships. I don't know how many losses they've had regular season. I think maybe 2 in the past 2 years. So it's a big win, and that's part of their culture over there. Winning is part of their culture, and playing football the way they play it is playoff football.
And they're the only team still alive from our area, and
That's
it
right.
certainly is credit to Bill Hawthorne, his staff, and the entire football team over there. And tell you what, they had a good crowd up there, and it was nasty. The poor girls, the cheerleaders were out there. They didn't plow the track, and the girls were standing in the snow, and it had to be cold for them. It was a cold night, but a big win. Now they go to round number 2 and they play the District 3 champion, the Bethlehem Catholic squad, the Becca High team that has been so good over the last few years. They play them now in round number 2, and they play a very good Saucon Valley team. And I think the score was a little misleading, 73-14. Was talking to a couple of people, it was a pretty good game up until the first half, but the second half, boy, Becca High must have really came out.
Yeah, I talked to some people up there, and they thought maybe Saucon Valley
Ran it up a little bit?
No, well, they thought Saucon Valley had a chance of beating
Okay.
Becca. But now I think things got out of hand a little bit, and Becca's not a team that's going to hold back. I mean, they're going to go full throttle ahead for 48 minutes, and if they can score 75, 80 points on you, they're going to. So, I think there must be a little bad taste in the mouth up there with some of those coaches that
I'm
you
sure there
score
is.
72
Yeah.
points on you. If someone did that to us, I'd be marking that game down again. But yeah, they're a good football team. They reload every year. They're the real deal. They got some Penn State commits. They got some kids that are Division I players. It reminds me a little bit of the 2008 or 2012 team that we went down and played Archbishop Wood. They had 13 Division I players.
Yeah.
Becca doesn't have that, but they're good, and they're well coached. They have a great scheme, and they're the real deal.
All right, well, you've played them 2 times. This will be the 3rd time that Pottsgrove is playing the Hawks or Golden Hawks or whatever the heck they are up there, whatever they are. What kinds of things is Pottsgrove going to have to do, Rick? What do you have to do to beat that team? Obviously, they're an explosive offensive team. Pottsgrove has to do what they do well, but what are some of the keys to the ball game?
Well, the first thing I think they have to do, the seniors got to get these kids together and say, look, we can beat them. You got to have confidence that you got to play. Last year when we played them, I don't know if we had that confidence. We watched them on film, and we were like, whoa. 2 years ago when we went up and played them up in Northern Lehigh, we really felt we could beat them, and I thought the kids felt that way too. So number one, you have got to make the kids believe that they can play them. I was telling someone the other day that when we went against Wood back in whatever it was, we had all those great players.
Yep.
We didn't watch film that week. I didn't let the kids watch film because I felt like as soon as they watch film, they're going to say, "Oh, these guys are too good. We can't play them." So you got to have belief that you can beat them, and you're going to have to go up and do what you did all year. You're going to have to run the football. You got to be able to stop the run. And you got to play good special teams, and that's Pottsgrove's creed. I mean, that's the way they play. That's the way they've been playing all year. Don't try to do something different you haven't done all year. Don't try to go up and throw the ball 45, 50 times a game. Just go out and play your game and see what happens.
Well, I would think obviously a good start would be imperative as well. Come out there and don't fall behind. I know last year you fumbled the opening kickoff, and then you sort of got yourself in a jam, even though they didn't score that first possession, but you sort of got yourself down. Next thing you know, it was just 21-0, and you had an uphill battle, and obviously that's not a real good way to play football.
No, and that's not Pottsgrove's brand of football. You get behind by 21 points at Pottsgrove, you're going to have a hard time getting back. We're not PV, Springford, that can throw the ball around and get big plays like that. But they're good. They're very physical. I think our kids, when they played them last year, they got punched in the mouth the first couple plays of the game, and they come off the field with a little like, whoa, these guys they're physical. And I don't know if Pottsgrove has played a physical team like this team. But again, they put their pants on just like us. They practice just like us, and our kids are just as tough as those kids. And so I say go up there, just play your hearts out, let the chips fall where they may. And, hey, there's been upsets before. This would be a big upset, but I still think they can do it.
Absolutely. And, again, we're rooting for the kids from Pottsgrove. Again, 12-1, district champion, won the first state playoff game in school history. Certainly a heck of a season, and they don't want it to stop here yet. Well, Rick, let's look at our scoreboard. We have the Paul Bauer scoreboard that we show each week. And, you and I have been talking a little bit about the playoffs outside of the Pioneer Athletic Conference, with Pottsgrove being the only representative. There's my good friend Paul Bauer. Give him a call at 610-624-6800 for any of your legal needs. He's a great guy. He's willing to help out, and he loves the people in the Pottstown area. He is certainly an attorney that you can count on. Give him a holler. All right, there we have some scores here. Obviously, the Pottsgrove one is the one we were really interested in. But, some of those 6A games that we were looking forward to seeing as well. Coachville with a big win over Garnet Valley. Garnet Valley had been impressive the first couple of rounds, beat a real good Quakertown team who knocked off PV in that second round. So they were looking to play a tough game against Coachville. It didn't happen. And North Penn sort of came from behind to knock off Downingtown West. Downingtown West had played pretty solid in that first half against the number 1 seed North Penn Knights, but North Penn showed their experience and came back and won that one.
The Downingtown West game, I know Coach Milano pretty well. Coached with him in the Big 33 game. He's a great coach. Now, I heard that their quarterback was hurt, and I don't know if they're still playing with their second team quarterback here, but they had North Penn on the ropes. I know some people that were at the game, and they said that North Penn was was kind of panicking a little bit because they were getting beat up a little bit up front. But again, North Penn is one of those teams that they're just going to pound you, and by the fourth quarter, hopefully, they pound you so much that you're going to be, a little bit lax, and that's what happened. The Coatesville game, that shocked me.
Yeah.
That shocked me because Garnet Valley is one of those teams that's just going to run that midline, run that veer, and they're just going to pound it, and they couldn't do it.
Well, we had talked about young Ricky Ortega and his throwing prowess, and they didn't even throw the ball that much. They said, okay, we're going to line up and beat you on the ground. Yeah. And Young had a great game. He had over 200 yards and all kinds of big plays. As Coachville said, we're going to keep it on the ground, and we're going to beat you that way as well.
I saw this young kid on one play where, I don't know if it was this game or the week before, the Downingtown East game, but he broke one around the end, and it got called back for holding, and they brought it back 10 yards.
And he went further.
Next play, he went again. I'm there. This kid, he's the real deal. Yeah. Michigan State commit. And
oh, is he?
Yes, I think he's on the Michigan State,
okay.
If I'm not mistaken. But I do know that the Ortega family, they really, really do a great job over there. Matt and Ricky both. They're the father and son. It's a great combination over there. And they got some good coaches. They got Catafio's the offensive coordinator, and Nichols is the offensive line coach. Used to be the head coach at Coachville. So they got some coaches over there that are doing a great job. That game is the premier game of the District 1. I think that's going to be a great game this week.
Well, we talked about it a couple of weeks ago when Coach Ortega won his 100th game, and his son threw his 100th career touchdown pass in the same game. He now has about 105 or 106. He's trying to go for that state record. I believe it's like 130 something. But those two guys have really done a heck of a job. And you said young Ricky Ortega is only a junior, so a lot of good things, and some underclassmen at the wide receivers who can make some big plays as well.
Their offensive line is huge. They got some big boys up front. And, you watched Drew Brees play yesterday with the Saints. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Ricky Ortega, I think, is the high school Drew Brees. He's not real big, but he can throw a football.
He can throw a
And
football.
how he can find windows to throw
Yeah,
that ball
he
over
does.
those big linemen is
And
a
he
credit
can
to
and
him.
he can tuck it and go with it as well.
Yes, he
He's certainly
can.
not
He's very
afraid
quick.
to run the ball as well. All right, Rick. Well, listen, we're going to take a quick time out here. We come back. We're going to wrap this thing up, and then we're going to get our players of the year here that we have sitting in the wings, ready to get some action. So we're going to take a quick time out. You and I will finish up, and we'll get them rolling right here on the Vlahos Dunn Insurance Monday Morning Quarterback Show.
This portion of Monday Morning Quarterback is brought to you by A to Z Furniture. A to Z Furniture is located on 296 South Reading Avenue in Boyertown. Stay tuned for more Monday Morning Quarterback right after this.
Fred Beans Ford of Boyertown is located on Route 100, just 2 miles north of Boyertown. Fred Beans Ford provides automotive sales, service, parts, and body shop all in one place. They're open 6 days a week. Fred Beans Ford in Boyertown can be reached at 800-222-0243, 800-222-0243, or online at fredbeans.com.
Doc's Irish Pub, the hottest new sports bar around. From live entertainment to countless draft beers. From awesome burgers to the new outside tiki bar. Numerous TVs and Doc's friendly service. Doc's Irish Pub is the place to be. Stop by Doc's today for a leisurely lunch, a quick cold beer, or a delicious bite to eat on a fall night. Doc's Irish Pub.
Welcome to the office of John H. Griesemer Jr., where we believe in the value of relationships. We take pride in giving you the assistance you need, whether that's income tax, payroll, or financial statement preparation. Located in Boyertown, we are committed to meeting the needs of the people in our community, and our team of skilled financial professionals look forward to working with you. John H. Griesemer Jr. Call us today or visit our website now. Hey, we're back here. We're having some fun here on our annual award show here on the Vlahos Dunn Insurance Monday Morning Quarterback at the PCTV Network studios. Rick, well, we got a couple of minutes here to wrap this thing up. What's on your mind? Anything you want to get off your chest here before we get rolling?
I think that I think people are going to start the debate again next week with the public school, private school. There is a movement going on in the state of Pennsylvania to get the private schools to be a boundary school and make them be able to only recruit, I should say that word.
Draw
from certain boundaries, you know. And I think that movement is starting to take a little bit of, has a little bit of emphasis behind it.
You're getting a little steam behind that, yeah.
Yeah, I know the superintendents of a lot of school districts are getting together. I think the superintendents of this area need to get in that fight also and fight for it, because you will see when you look right now how many Catholic schools, or I should say not Catholic, but non-public schools are in the state playoffs, and it's getting to the point now where it's getting a little bit ridiculous.
Well, is the Imhoteps and those type schools in the same category there? Or?
They would be in the same category. I think what they should do is and I believe, like a lot of coaches in the state, believe that they should have a separate field just for the private schools. The non-public schools should have their own playoff system. And when you look at it, the public schools do not have that great of a chance to move on because of some of the schools that are in their division. Now, everyone used to say it's bad blood or sour grapes because of Pottsgrove, because we had to play Archbishop Wood and we had to play. Right. But I always said back then, as soon as the big schools start having to play the same situation,
St. Joe Preps and those
and then
schools,
now you got LaSalle, St. Joe Prep, and those guys. Now it's kind of like there's getting a little bit of. But I do believe it's not only in football, it's in basketball. But I think we have to do something, and I think it looks like there's some there's some movement here on this.
Well, and again, I had what I didn't like is a couple years ago, John Runyon lives in New Jersey. His son goes to St. Joe Prep, and he's not even. How can he play in the PIAA, which is Pennsylvania school, and he lives in New Jersey? I couldn't, even begin to grasp that kind of a thing. I mean, that's how can you live in New Jersey and then play PIAA?
I agree.
Doesn't make sense to me at all. All right, well, listen, I want to thank Rick for stopping by again and great insight as usual. And let's get out there and root for those Pottsgrove Falcons. They got a big one coming up against a very, very formidable foe this week up at Palisades High School. They're playing the Bethlehem Catholic. Becca High as they are known as. But again, thanks, Rick, for stopping by. And we're going to take another quick time out. We come back. We got our Players of the Year right here on the Vlahos Dunn Insurance Monday Morning Quarterback Show.
Stay tuned for more Monday Morning Quarterback right after this. Doc's Irish Pub, the hottest new sports bar around. From live entertainment to countless draft beers. From awesome burgers to the new outside tiki bar. Numerous TVs and Doc's friendly service. Doc's Irish Pub is the place to be. Stop by Doc's today for a leisurely lunch, a quick cold beer, or a delicious bite to eat on a fall night. Doc's Irish Pub. The newly remodeled and renovated Creekside Sports Bar and Grill sits on the Landis Creek Golf Course. Featuring live entertainment and weekly specials, the Creekside offers something for everyone. Discounted beer and wing prices during all Eagles games brings a being at the game feeling. With tailgating, big screen TVs, and wearing your team colors, you can bring the fall spirit to Creekside. So stop by the Creekside Sports Bar and Grill and see all the fun things it has to offer.
Fred Beans Ford of Boyertown is located on Route 100, just 2 miles north of Boyertown. Fred Beans Ford provides automotive sales, service, parts, and body shop all in one place. They're open 6 days a week. Fred Beans Ford in Boyertown can be reached at 800-222-0243, 800-222-0243, or online at fredbeans.com.
Back in 1949, Claude A. Reinhardt founded his family business, which has served the Pottstown and Tri-County area for over 50 years, specializing in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting, paper hanging, and brick restoration. Thanks to the commitment of tradition and values, Claude A. Reinhardt Painters has once again received this year's Reader's Choice Award. So if you're thinking about having an estimate or just need some good advice, give Ron or Keith Reinhardt a call and put your painting and decorating needs in our hands.
Welcome to the office of John H. Griesemer Jr., where we believe in the value of relationships. We take pride in giving you the assistance you need, whether that's income tax, payroll, or financial statement preparation. Located in Boyertown, we are committed to meeting the needs of the people in our community, and our team of skilled financial professionals look forward to working with you.
At Vlahos Dunn Insurance, we understand what moves people in business and in life, and we use this knowledge to better serve our clients. And we bring the same work ethic and commitment to our business as our customers do theirs. Vlahos Dunn Insurance, providing quality coverage to the Tri-County area since 1994. So call our knowledgeable staff.
Hi, I'm Jim Vlahos of Vlahos Dunn Insurance, and we're in your community.
back here on our annual award show. And again, I want to thank Rick Pennypack for stopping by and giving us some good insight. And this is always a lot of fun for me at the end of the year, where we are able to recognize some of the young guys that just have done outstanding jobs for their teams, for their league, and just a good young guys. And we have two of them here tonight. We have Ryan Bedolas from Pottsgrove on the far end there, and we have my buddy Austin Rowley from Perkiomen Valley. And guys, first of all, congratulations on a great year, and thanks for stopping by and having some fun with us here on the show. All right, guys, here we go. We'll start with you since you're still playing. How you feeling? Everything good?
Yeah, really good.
Good. No bumps and bruises, nothing, huh?
No.
Okay.
Good.
Good for you. Because this is a tough part of the time of year where all those little things start to multiply a little bit, and you get nicked up here and there. And unfortunately, your season came in a couple of weeks ago, Austin. But certainly no bad year for you guys, as you were third straight year of winning the Pioneer Athletic Conference. So some pretty good accomplishments down there at Perkiomen Valley.
Yeah, our team has accomplished a lot. I feel like, especially the past few years, from generation to generation, I feel like we as a team have really got after the ball and made some plays to get some wins.
Absolutely. Again, it's funny, we always sit here and we have a good time talking to the young men. And Ryan, let's go back and get an opportunity to talk to you this year. But what kind of expectations did you have coming into the season? Last year, obviously, Pottsgrove had a real good year, got knocked off by Bethlehem Catholic, but you were named first team defensive player and defensive player of the year and second team offense. So obviously you had some things that you wanted to do this year. What kind of goals and what kind of things were you looking for coming into your senior year?
Basically, we just wanted to pick up right where we left off. Really, I mean, I know we lost a lot of seniors, like Rasul, Parrish, Sack, Bailey Dell, just a whole lot of seniors, and Coach Pennypacker. But just all the new guys stepped up, and the returning starters like me, Justin Adams, Jose Glover, and Jay Cisco, we also just stepped up and
took over leadership roles.
Yeah.
Now, you're a quiet guy, and we've talked many times, but you don't have to be a rah-rah guy to be a leader, but I still, you're still in that leadership role, so you sort of just try to show the guys by example, this is the way we should be working, and this is what we have to do.
Yeah, basically, just keep doing what I'm doing in the weight room and just on the practice field, helping out the younger kids that I see they're not, doing something right, really, just,
keep it
help
going.
them out.
Yeah. Well, did you feel the transition? Obviously, Coach Pennypacker was at Pottsgrove and did a lot of great things and really built a program. And obviously, Coach Hawthorne was a good fit there to follow right in line as a former assistant. How did that transition work from Pennypacker to Hawthorne for you guys?
I mean, I think it's worked out well, as you can see. We're doing really well in the playoffs so far. I mean, just beat Jersey Shore and getting ready for a game against Bethlehem Catholic.
Anything different in the all-season? I know you guys really pushed the weights down there at Pottsgrove. Anything different that you guys started this year that you hadn't done in past years?
Trying to think, really. I mean,
not much.
Nothing just the same kind of just attitude, hitting it hard in the weight room, going out on the practice field, making sure we're conditioned, ready for the season, and just sure we got all the plays down,
ready to go,
ready mentally as well.
Yeah. Well, Austin, you were sort of in the same situation. You guys had an excellent team last year. You really came on strong and played very well. You were a first-team defensive back last year, and all of a sudden now Schimpf and all those guys are no longer there. Holmes and some of your big seniors that you guys relied on last year. Now all of a sudden you're thrown into that leadership role. How did you handle that, and how did you adjust to that?
The seniors that I was fortunate to work with last year, they teach me a lot, especially just getting a lot of experience from them. Just a lot of mental things that they've taught me, and they've been able to help me pass it on to some of the players that I've been playing with. And I feel like, especially now that some of us are gone, there's going to be a lot of juniors and seniors coming up. next year to take our place.
Now, last year you got some pretty nice recognition on the defensive side of the ball. This year you played a little bit more offense. You were in the passing game. You did make some big plays as you caught over 20 passes. Was there an adjustment to you playing more both ways this year as opposed to last year when you were predominantly a defensive player?
I wouldn't say it was more of an adjustment. I think it was more of like a challenge to myself and I was trying to achieve some more goals coming into the season on both sides of the ball. A lot of my teammates have been helping me out to achieve a lot of the goals that I set this year.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, you've done a heck of a job. Ryan, you've been playing both ways for a couple of years now, so that adjustment isn't quite as tough for you. But do you find yourself having to put more time in on one side of the ball or the other? Is the offense a little bit more mental, defense physical? How do you approach that?
I think try and put the same amount of time in usually, but I guess sometimes defense a little bit more just because I like being defensive end, rushing the passer and all that really. But
right. Well, you've been around football forever. Your father coached and did a whole bunch of good things in his coaching career. So you've been around the game, so you're no stranger to it. Film study and all that stuff, I'm sure, is sort of second nature to you.
It's like coming home, having basically just another coach at home.
Right. Helping you out.
Another coach critiquing me.
Now, you find yourself doing some more things like defensively to work on as far as some pass rush moves and all those kinds of things to change your game up. You're a tight end and you block a lot. You do go out and catch some passes. But as a defensive end, you find yourself working on different things to help your game?
Yeah, you always want to try and switch up your moves. And, I always do well off the edge, but sometimes I got to do the inside move kind of just a head fake outside or something to spin back in or just rip back inside.
Well, you're mostly your hand in the dirt too. You're not a stand-up guy, and I know some defensive ends, outside linebackers, are in a stand-up position, but you're down with your hand in the dirt, and I guess that still works for you as well.
Yeah.
Okay. How about you, my man? Now, you're a fiery little guy. It was funny. I had a bunch of people telling me that they couldn't believe this little young guy was sitting beside me is a heck of a tough football player. I said, he really, really is. And you're a little fiery guy. Tell me a little bit about where do you get all that from?
I've always been more of a small guy my whole life. I feel like it's something that I've adjusted to, something I've learned to accept, but I feel like I can use this as motivation to other people who are just my size, that it really doesn't matter how big or small you are. As long as you're putting in the work and getting after it on the field, it really doesn't matter in the end.
Both of you guys play a lot bigger than your sizes, that's for sure. And I've seen you play a bunch of times, and it's always a lot of fun. High energy guys, guys that really care and have a passion for the game. Tell me a couple of your big moments this year. Obviously against Bishop Shanahan, where you had some major plays in that first round game in the mud, where it was just a mess. Tell us a little bit about that game and how you were able to help your squad move on.
Yeah, that was probably my most memorable game of the year. Field conditions were terrible. It was everybody was slipping and sliding, and it was just great to have that picked up fumble for a touchdown and that blocked extra point, and it was just great. Ended up winning, what was it, 14-13, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, something. Yeah, well, 1 point. Yeah, for sure. And it's amazing because the conditions. I don't think anybody, unless they played football in those kind of conditions, could ever figure out how that is. It was awful and so bad that you guys couldn't even play on your field the next week. But you guys got through it, and you're able to pull out a big win. And I've always said you keep hustling, good things are going to happen. And the ball bounced your way a couple of times, and you were able to do some pretty good stuff. Well, how about you, Austin? Any kind of big games that you sort of stick out in your mind? I don't want to say anything negative about the Pottsgrove game. You two guys hooked up there pretty good. That was a big-time game, and you guys capped off 3 years where I know Coach Heiss was very, very proud of the fact that you guys never lost a Pioneer Athletic Conference game, and you knocked off the Grove this year for the championship.
Yeah, that game was definitely on both sides of the ball for each of the teams, a very good game. It was for sure a very memorable game. All of us as a team, we came together, made some good plays. Our offensive line, defensive line, whoever it was on the field, you know that they were giving their best effort every single play.
Yeah, it was a heck of a game, and I was fortunate enough to be there and help call the game. But what a big game! All right, well, I got one more question for you, Ryan. What's going to happen this weekend? What do you know about Bethlehem Catholic? What kinds of things are the Falcons going to have to do to win a big ball game and keep it going?
Well, I mean, I know they got pretty big up front, and they got some like great athletes out at the skill positions. But we just can't be intimidated. I mean, we know we're the underdogs, but we still got to get out there, play, make sure we run the ball well, and just can't turn over the football at all either.
Well, now will you play a bigger role in leadership this year? I mean, obviously you're a guy that's been in these games before, and you know what they're all about. And get some of the younger guys, maybe even some of the seniors who hadn't played that much before, ready for this weekend.
Yeah, I just think all the seniors and coaches will have us ready.
Yeah, have you do it. How about you, my man? Anything else? What's up for you? Now it's time for you to move on to the next career, next part of your life. Would you like to try to play some football at the next level? What's happening with Austin?
For sure. I would love an opportunity at the next level. I feel like my coaches and my teammates have prepared me very well to get me to where I am now, and hopefully get a chance to step on the field.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, 158 tackles. I think that was the leading tackler in the Pioneer Athletic Conference. 6 interceptions, a forced fumble, 2 fumble recoveries, 2 pass knockdowns, and a defensive touchdown. It's a heck of a year. I tell you what, you really played well, and it was fun to watch you play out there. And number 23, I believe, was the guy rocking and rolling and helping things out. And then, of course, number 81, 18 sacks, a whole bunch of tackles for loss. Over 80 tackles was a heck of a year for you as well, Ryan. And I know it was funny after we talked to Ethan Kohler, and he said every time he turned around, you were right in his face in that game against PV, and you guys certainly did earn a lot of respect in those games. And I want to thank you for stopping by, and I have a couple of things here for you for your outstanding play. And let me tell you that the coaches and the people in this area certainly know who you two guys are for sure. I have a certificate here, and I want to thank my good friends down there at the Complete Graphics again, CGI, the Ritwich boys. They have been very, very good to me. And Ryan Bedolis, this is for you. And Austin Rowley, this is for you from PV, from the Monday Morning Quarterback. And I got a couple of things here that hopefully you'll look back on in a few years and say, man, that was fun playing high school football. This is for Austin. Monday Morning Quarterback 2018 Player of the Year, Austin Rowley, Perkiomen Valley High School. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well deserved. And my guy, Ryan Bedolis. Same thing here. Monday Morning Quarterback 2018 Player of the Year, Ryan Bedolis, Potts Grove High School. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well deserved for your awards that you can look back, and hopefully you'll find a spot for them and we'll check them out. But again, I want to thank these guys, congratulate them. Great years in 2018 at Pioneer Athletic Conference. Again, Ryan Bedolis and Austin Rowley. All right, we're going to take a quick time out. We got some more stuff going on in the show right after this, so stay tuned for some more.
Stay tuned for more Monday Morning Quarterback right after this.
Back in 1949, Claude A. Reinhardt founded his family business, which has served the Pottstown and Tri-County area for over 50 years, specializing in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting, paper hanging, and brick restoration. Thanks to the commitment of tradition and values, Claude A. Reinhardt Painters has once again received this year's Reader's Choice Award. So if you're thinking about having an estimate or just need some good advice, give Ron or Keith Reinhardt a call and put your painting and decorating needs in our hands.
Doc's Irish Pub, the hottest new sports bar around. From live entertainment to countless draft beers. From awesome burgers to the new outside tiki bar. Numerous TVs and Doc's friendly service. Doc's Irish Pub is the place to be. Stop by Doc's today for a leisurely lunch, a quick cold beer, or a delicious bite to eat on a fall night. Doc's Irish Pub.
Established in 1916 and granted membership into the Philadelphia Golf Association in 1920, Brookside Country Club is well known for its challenging layout and true, fast greens. The William Gordon design provides a challenge for golfers of all abilities. Brookside Country Club offers traditional club amenities in a family-friendly atmosphere. Brookside Country Club, where elegance and excellence are par for the course.
At Vlahos Dunn Insurance, we understand what moves people in business and in life, and we use this knowledge to better serve our clients. And we bring the same work ethic and commitment to our business as our customers do theirs. Vlahos Dunn Insurance, providing quality coverage to the Tri-County area since 1994. So call our knowledgeable staff.
Hi, I'm Jim Vlahos of Vlahos Dunn Insurance, and we're in your community.
Doc's Irish Pub, the hottest new sports bar around. From live entertainment to countless draft beers. From awesome burgers to the new outside tiki bar. Numerous TVs and Doc's friendly service. Doc's Irish Pub is the place to be. Stop by Doc's today for a leisurely lunch, a quick cold beer, or a delicious bite to eat on a fall night. Doc's Irish Pub. The newly remodeled and renovated Creekside Sports Bar and Grill sits on the Landis Creek Golf Course. Featuring live entertainment and weekly specials, the Creekside offers something for everyone. Discounted beer and wing prices during all Eagles games brings a being at the game feeling. With tailgating, big screen TVs, and wearing your team colors, you can bring the fall spirit to Creekside. So stop by the Creekside Sports Bar and Grill and see all the fun things it has to offer.
Fred Beans Ford of Boyertown is located on Route 100, just 2 miles north of Boyertown. Fred Beans Ford provides automotive sales, service, parts, and body shop all in one place. They're open 6 days a week. Fred Beans Ford in Boyertown can be reached at 800-222-0243, 800-222-0243, or online at fredbeans.com.
Back in 1949, Claude A. Reinhardt founded his family business, which has served the Pottstown and Tri-County area for over 50 years, specializing in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting, paper hanging, and brick restoration. Thanks to the commitment of tradition and values, Claude A. Reinhardt Painters has once again received this year's Reader's Choice Award. So if you're thinking about having an estimate or just need some good advice, give Ron or Keith Reinhardt a call and put your painting and decorating needs in our hands.
Welcome to the office of John H. Griesemer Jr., where we believe in the value of relationships. We take pride in giving you the assistance you need, whether that's income tax, payroll, or financial statement preparation. Located in Boyertown, we are committed to meeting the needs of the people in our community. and our team of skilled financial professionals look forward to working with you.
At Vlahos Dunn Insurance, we understand what moves people in business and in life, and we use this knowledge to better serve our clients. And we bring the same work ethic and commitment to our business as our customers do theirs. Vlahos Dunn Insurance, providing quality coverage to the Tri-County area since 1994. So call our knowledgeable staff.
Hi, I'm Jim Vlahos of Vlahos Dunn Insurance, and we're in your community.
We're back here on set at the PCTV Network Studios here on the campus of Pottstown High School. Dave Reiner bringing you the Vlahos Dunn Insurance Monday Morning Quarterback. And again, I want to take a second to congratulate Austin Rowley from Perk Valley and also Ryan Bedolis from Pottsgrove as our Players of the Year. Well, we got a couple of coaches here that have done fantastic jobs that I want to talk to and recognize them a little bit as well. We have Rob Heist from the three-time defending champions at Perk Yeoman Valley for the Pioneer Athletic Conference, and Bill Hawthorne in his first year, and he's got them rolling. District 1 champion, won the first state playoff game in Pottsgrove history, 12-1 Pottsgrove Falcons. Guys, we've been here before, but you guys continue to roll, and Robbie, what a heck of a season for you guys again this year. Congratulations, and thanks for stopping by. Now, it was great talking to those young guys. You know, it's amazing. It's always a lot of fun for me. I know the people out there really enjoy getting to see those guys, but two fine young guys, you know. Austin, again, a guy you look like, I'm sitting here and I'm like, geez, old man, look like some of the middle school kids that I taught as far as facially and everything, but man, I tell you, he's a monster when he puts those pads on.
Yeah, I can't say enough about Austin. We are really going to miss him. You know, we've had him back playing our free safety position now for 2 years, and like you said earlier, we moved him over to play some slot for us this year, and he just embraced it and said, you know, whatever your coach wants to hear, you know, coach, whatever you need, I'll do, and he did it well. So.
Yeah. And Ryan Bedolis, obviously, I think everyone has noticed what he's been able to do the past 2 years, and particularly this year in his senior season. You know, you talked about it after the game, Bill, that you're excited. Not only did you win the game, but you get a chance to spend another week with these guys, and certainly Ryan Bedolis is one of those guys that you're looking forward to spending some more time with.
Most definitely. Ryan's just your consummate team football player. I mean, he wouldn't even know one stat about himself. He just cares about getting W's, being with the guys, doing whatever it takes to make sure that his team wins that football game.
Well, you know, it's both you two guys have leaned on your seniors now. You in 3 years, Billy, obviously in your first year. And I don't know if enough people know how valuable having those 3-year seniors on your squad are. Robbie, obviously, you know, you talked about the pride that you have that you never lost a Pioneer Athletic Conference game with that group of seniors. Obviously, that means a lot to you and to the kids.
Well, absolutely. I mean, I think our league is a great league, and it continues to improve and earn respect in the area every single year. You know, I think one of the things that Pottsgrove's program and Coach Hawthorne and our program have in common is that our kids, every year as these great groups of seniors graduate, the next group up expects to compete. You know, they expect to carry on that tradition and keep winning, and that culture is really important. You know, Austin said it earlier. He learned from Schimpf's class, and Schimpf's class learned from Sturm's class, you know, at our school, and hopefully it's more the same next year.
Yeah, we know. Well, obviously Faison was a guy that was certainly everyone knew who about. But you know, you looked at Desmond Olsen, you look at Hurt Ramsey, you look at Janisek, you looked at Dickey, you look at those guys. I mean, you guys lost some pretty good players last year, Bill, and this senior class has really stepped up and accepted the challenge, and I'm sure you couldn't ask for anything more from them.
Well, I consider myself one of the luckiest head coaches, first-year head coaches, to have a class like this. And just like Rob alluded to, it's kind of next class up. You know the expectations. We expect to win every game and every time we set foot on a football field, and these guys carry it from the spring in the weight room all the way, you know, to that final whistle blows in November or December. I think you just look at the 2 award winners. You watch film, and the pass might not be to Raleigh. But Raleigh's on film. He shows up every play. And Ryan Bedolis, they might not even run his way, but Ryan Bedolis is there. Both those kids' motors never, ever stop. And their work ethic, You know, I don't know Austin as well as Ryan, but I'm sure they're unparalleled. And they're really just a testament to hard work and dedication. I think they should be examples for all young kids to follow.
And another thing that all the young kids would like to watch out here is great students as well. Both those two guys hit it in the classroom. And, you know, it's amazing how those two things go hand in hand, Rob. You know, there's so many people that, they're just football players, they're this or that. But they don't realize what these young guys do in the classroom as well and what they do for their particular schools. And I'm sure Austin and Ryan are big-time people in their respective high schools.
Yeah, I think when you have great work ethic, it translates to many different facets of your life, you know, and you're gonna take pride in working hard, not only for goals on the football field, but goals in the classroom and, you know, just generally in life. And it seems to me that both those kids have great work ethic.
They certainly do, and they're great, two young, fine young guys. And I get a little emotional and stuff because I taught and coached and whatever for a lot of years, and you hear so many negative things, particularly in our world today, Bill, and particularly about teenagers and what they're doing. And you see guys like this, it really does make you feel good.
It makes you feel wonderful. You just see kids like Ryan who helps other kids in the hallways. And he has no idea who these kids are, but he's the first guy to help, you know, a kid when they drop their books. He's the first guy to help a kid take up a tray in the cafeteria. He was our leader in our community service in the off season. He does all the little things that just shows you that he has high integrity, high character. And coming from, you know, a program like Perk Valley, I'm sure Austin Riley has that as well.
Well, and you know, the thing about those guys that it's so enjoyable is that they're not doing it for fanfare. You know, they don't want to parade down Main Street in their honor. This is just who those kind of guys are. And you know, you've been able to coach a bunch of those guys in your stay at Perk Valley, and it makes it all worthwhile, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, my experience with our kids in my 3 years at PV has been that they want to do it for each other. You know, it's not about them, it's about winning for their friends who they've grown up playing football with, and winning for the community that's supported them every Friday night. And you know, that's a hard thing to teach. You know, the kids, they have that or they don't have it, and we've been very fortunate to have kids that have it.
Absolutely. And you know, let's talk a little bit about the season now while we have a couple of minutes here. Bill, obviously, you know, you guys are still rolling, 12-1. District 1 champions for the third year in a row, and won your first state playoff game. You know, you're tickled pink, but you still have some work to do. Tell us a little bit about what's going on over at the Grove these days.
We got a formidable opponent in Bethlehem Catholic this week coming up, but I will never sell my guys short. They're tough, hard-working individuals. They fear nobody. They respect Bethlehem Catholic, much like they respect Perk Valley. But they're going to give it their all. We're going to give it their all as a coaching staff. We're going to leave it all on the table. And like I said, if I don't think I could win every game and our program could win every game, then I shouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now. And our kids believe they can win, and we have to go out there and do it on the practice field this week, and hopefully it translates till Friday night.
That's right. And Rob, you know, you took a sort of a different approach than from some coaches, because you really went a tough non-league schedule. You said, okay, this is going to help us down the line a little bit. You scheduled the Downingtowns in the first two games of the season for the last couple of years, and you know, tell me a little bit about your philosophy on that and how has that really worked out for you?
Well, I just feel like. You know, obviously our first goal every year is to win our league. I think that's something that kids can hang their hat on when they're talking to their teammates, you know, 20, 30 years down the line. But I think we have bigger goals at Perkiomen Valley at this point. We want to get to the point where, like Pottsgrove, we're competing to win District 1 every year. You know, that's our next goal. And if you want to compete with the 6A schools in District 1, you got to play the best schools in 6A and District 1, and that's Downingtown. That's, you know, that's the Coatesvilles. That's the North Penns. So, you know, it's just kind of our philosophy at PV. You know,
Billy, you know, I know there's been a sentiment at Pottsgrove, and you're an old Pottsgrove guy, and you're used to playing the Spring Fords and those kind of teams. And I'm an old Chestmont League guy, and I you know, I loved playing Coatesville and Downingtown and those teams back in my day in Henderson High School. You played some of the local squads in your non-league games. Are you going to continue that approach, or how do you handle that?
Well, 100%. I think the championship game that we play right before districts makes us better going into districts. And I say that because last 3 years we play a program like Perk Valley, which is going to bring out the best in you regardless. They're just a talented, well-coached team that I don't know why you wouldn't want to play a team like that before entering the playoffs. Those are the teams you're going to see the next 3, 4, 5 weeks. And frankly, if you can't hang with those teams, then you're not going to do too well in the playoffs anyway. So I want a challenge. I want the best team that we could possibly play. And fortunately enough, and sometimes unfortunately enough, we got to play PV right before that. But PV makes us better as we go into the playoffs every year.
Well, you know, it's funny because this year, you know, it was sort of an unusual year for you because Cole Peterlin last year sort of came out of nowhere and had a tremendous year. And he was only a junior, so he was looking forward to his senior season. But he got nicked up a little bit early, and that high ankle sprain or whatever his little leg injury was sort of lingered, and you didn't really get a good look at Cole Peterlin in his senior year.
Yeah.
That was sort of an unfortunate situation. But, you know, on the other side of it, you know, one man's sort of misfortune is another one's opportunity, and all of a sudden Ethan Kohler, a young ninth grader, comes in there and really plays well in some big games for you. You had to be really proud of your program.
I was very proud of both of those kids in particular for different reasons. You know, Cole had some unfortunate things happen to him this year with getting hurt against Owen J. Roberts and then never really getting right with his ankle until going into Springford week. He finally felt healthy, had a great week of practice. I could see that, you know, pop in his step when he would explode on our Q read runs and things like that. And then he gets concussed in the first half of the Springford game. So, you know, the biggest thank you that I can say to Cole at this point is how he mentored Ethan while he was going through the injury process. He was nothing short of incredible, from being a player coach for us and kind of taking the young freshman under his wing and saying, you know, here's what coach is thinking when he calls this, and you want to look off here to come back here. He just did a really great job. He was whispering in Ethan's one ear as I'm whispering in his other, and he just had a great opportunity to learn from a classy kid. So Cole was very important for us from that perspective.
Well, I really enjoyed some of the comments that Ethan made after the Pottsgrove game. He said, you know, Cole was the quarterback. I'm just lucky to fill in and do my job. He said, you know, there's no controversy, there's no whatever. We wouldn't be here without Cole Peterlin, and again, that shows the quality of those two young men. And you can't overlook your guy. I'll tell you what, number 11, each week when you think, oh my goodness, what is he going to do to top this? And each week he does some big conversion runs on third down. Friday night against Jersey Shore when they were jamming up the middle on you, and Taylor was finding some tough sled, and boy, Cisco was out on the edge doing his thing.
Yeah, he's just that kid that can make that timely play, and I think I said it before about him. It's pretty easy to make. It's not easy, but to make big plays in the first and second quarter, but to make those plays in the last couple minutes, the waning moments of a game. And Jay Cisco has done that since he started as a junior. He almost perfected the craft this year. He's an exceptional young man, and it translates onto the football field.
Well, you know, I coached a lot of sports, and you could even see, like I always said, in basketball and football, sometimes there's guys that don't want the ball in that crunch time. I mean, there's guys that all of a sudden they sort of disappear or whatever, and you guys have found certainly players that have really risen in those situations. And obviously, when your programs are that good, you find guys who want the ball in their hands when it really matters the most.
Yeah, I can't say enough about how fortunate we've been at PV across the board. Just very, very lucky to continue on the program that Scott Reed ran for 12 years before me, and my coach Scott Furman before that. We have character kids for the most part, and those kids who are, you know, dealing with maturity issues and some of the younger ages, they see what it's like to be a PV football player, and you know, our staff does a great job of that. Our staff, I'm so thankful to have them. I was so fortunate for all of them to stay when Coach Reed resigned to spend time with his family, and I couldn't ask for a better group of men to mentor young adolescent boys, and PB's very fortunate like that.
What kind of message did you have for them after your last game? I know that's always a tough time. I remember sitting in the locker room my senior year after playing Owen J. Roberts and looking around saying, all the time I spent here with all my buddies, and this was probably, well, it was going to be, I was fortunate to play in an all-star game, but my last high school football game. What kind of message did you have for your guys?
Yeah, I mean, the message, the last one's always a challenge, and you get so close with these kids, you consider them family, you're spending 1,000 hours with them every year, and to look in the faces of your seniors after you lose that last game and know that this is the last time they're ever going to play together, that's real hard. It's emotional, and you try to remind them of the successes that they've had, and you're going to have bumps in the road, and not only football but in the game of life, and it's not about the old Rocky quote, right? Not about how bad you get knocked down. It's whether or not you can get back up. And our kids are resilient. I think that was reflected in our 0-2 start this year, and how they just kept confident and grinding, and being down 20-3 to spring forward, and they kept confident, kept grinding. They had a terrific season, and we're looking forward to 2019.
They certainly did, and Billy, fortunately for you, you haven't had to have that speech yet, as your gang is still going on strong, where you're guaranteed at least one more game. 12-1 though, pretty good, and I'm sure that when this ride does come to an end, it's going to be tough for you and some of those seniors that really have, like you said, made your life easy, coaching and all the things that you've been able to do this year.
No, I don't think there's enough words to express how much I'm going to miss our senior class, but I'll echo a lot of the same sentiments that Rob just said. Our seniors will pass the practice methods down to our younger kids, and hopefully that'll keep filtering down. Again, a lot like Rob just said. We have a lot of continuity in the people that have been in our program as far as coaching staff, and they know how to win, and they instill the fundamental techniques and really the confidence and the belief that we're going to be in every game, we're going to win every game, and once you have that, that just permeates through the program, and hopefully generation through generation of Falcons, and obviously like it has in the Vikings. I think once you establish that and you can keep that going and you do it the right way with class, which I think our two programs do, I think you're in a good spot as a football program.
Absolutely, and I've said it before, and two really, really fine young coaches. I consider you guys to be young now because I'm getting old, but you guys are sort of in the middle of the road now. But two great young guys, and I hope I see you guys parading on the sidelines for many, many years to come yet. Both your schools are lucky to have you guys. And I have a little something for each one of you, something you can remember your 2018 season here, Rob. We're for winning the league and doing what you did for 3 years in a row. The Monday Morning Quarterback 2018 Coach of the Year, Rob Heist at Perkiomen Valley.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations on a great year. And Billy, you guys, without a doubt, the team of the year, and you're a big part of it. 12-1, District 1 champions, Pottsgrove Falcons. The team award, Pottsgrove Falcons District 1 champions, first PIAA playoff win of the season. You guys need to have something, and you well-deserved, and you've done a heck of a job. And congratulations, and keep it going.
Thank you for everything, David.
All right, and I'm just glad I can be a part of it. And we'll be hanging out at some of the awards dinners and some of those things yet. And I'm fortunate enough to be a part of the Pioneer Athletic Conference Football Coaches Association. And we'll be meeting right after Christmas. And then we have our annual banquet where all league players will be recognized at that point. But again, two great young coaches here, Rob Heist and Bill Hawthorne, and their two teams reflect their abilities, that's for sure. All right, we're going to take a quick timeout. When I come back, I got my buddy Joe C. on the line. Unfortunately, we got to talk a little bit about the Eagles and their debacle yesterday against the New Orleans Saints and where do they go from here. But again, I want to thank Austin Rowley and Ryan Bedolis as our players of the year, and then of course Rob Heist and Bill Hawthorne, their coaches as respectfully as well. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned for more Monday Morning Quarterback right after this.
Back in 1949, Claude A. Reinhardt founded his family business, which has served the Pottstown and Tri-County area for over 50 years. specializing in residential and commercial interior and exterior painting, paper hanging, and brick restoration. Thanks to the commitment of tradition and values, Claude A. Reinhardt Painters has once again received this year's Reader's Choice Award. So if you're thinking about having an estimate or just need some good advice, give Ron or Keith Reinhardt a call and put your painting and decorating needs in our hands.
Doc's Irish Pub, the hottest new sports bar around. From live entertainment to countless draft beers. From awesome burgers to the new outside tiki bar. Numerous TVs and Doc's friendly service. Doc's Irish Pub is the place to be. Stop by Doc's today for a leisurely lunch, a quick cold beer, or a delicious bite to eat on a fall night. Doc's Irish Pub.
Established in 1916 and granted membership into the Philadelphia Golf Association in 1920, Brookside Country Club is well known for its challenging layout and true, fast greens. The William Gordon design provides a challenge for golfers of all abilities. Brookside Country Club offers traditional club amenities in a family-friendly atmosphere. Brookside Country Club, where elegance and excellence are par for the course.
At Vlahos Dunn Insurance, we understand what moves people in business and in life, and we use this knowledge to better serve our clients. And we bring the same work ethic and commitment to our business as our customers do theirs. Vlahos Dunn Insurance, providing quality coverage to the Tri-County area since 1994. So call our knowledgeable staff.
Hi, I'm Jim Vlahos of Vlahos Dunn Insurance, and we're in your community.
We're back here, the Vlahos Dunn Insurance Monday Morning Quarterback Dave Reiner and my buddy Joe C. Had to work late tonight, so we got him on the line. He is part of the dynamic duo, again, brought to you by Fred Beans of Boyertown. Stop over there and check out Denny Malloy. Tell him that we sent you. Well, Joseph, I was hoping that we might have a little better conversation tonight than what we're going to have, but our EAGLESs didn't show up down in the Big Easy last night.
Nah, they I don't know where they were, but they were not on the football field. That's for sure. I don't know, Dave. A little disconcerting how poorly they played, but you know there was a lot of you're looking at Jason Kelsey being out, and your buddy Wisniewski was in there, and he missed the block, of course, and so he came right in and sacked Carson. But there's so many injuries and guys that are playing in that secondary that I never even heard of.
Well, I feel bad for Wiz because he's my guy. I'm sure he doesn't get a lot of reps at center. And then,
exactly.
I'm thinking, why wouldn't they go up under center a little bit more to make it easier on him? I'm sure he hasn't had a lot of practice with the snaps because and I know that if that snap's not right, the whole timing of the play is off, and there were a few of them in there. And then, of course, he got beat on the one play right up the middle. But I tell you what, he wasn't alone.
That wasn't it. Yeah, that wasn't, believe me, that wasn't it at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at time of possession. I'm looking at 37-34 for New Orleans and 22-26 for Philly. Now, I don't know. I'm not a coach, but you know what? If I was going against New Orleans, you know what I would do? I'd try to control the clock, keep that offense off the field.
Right.
And because my defense is so depleted, I would want to keep my defense off the field more than I would want to keep their offense off the field.
I know. I couldn't agree
You know
more.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't get
it's
it.
like, It's I just don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it
Carson Wentz looks lost.
He does look
lost.
He
looks lost. Yeah. He's got happy feet.
Yeah.
He doesn't know where to. They did such a good job of shutting down Ertz. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
They had him boxed in
Yep.
like you wouldn't believe, and Carson didn't know what to do.
Yeah, I know.
And listen, I want to change gears real quick. I'm going to go to Frank Reich, and I'm going to go to the Indianapolis Colts. And I'm going to look at, 7 straight games that Andrew Luck has thrown 3 TD passes?
Yeah.
And I'm going to rest my case.
Yeah. He's really done a nice job. And again, I obviously coaching is very, very important, but these guys are all getting paid, Joe. They're all professionals.
I knew you were going to say it, and I
come
agree
on,
with you
man.
100%.
Sooner or later, and I'm thinking, we go over and these guys have been playing the offensive line for, how many years? And even back when they were playing midget football, a little bit about blocking down, protecting your inside gap, all these different things that they keep saying, well, there's no continuity, they didn't play together. Well, listen, these guys have been drilled and drilled and drilled in this kind of stuff forever. Sooner or later, a 28-year-old man who's a professional football should be able to figure some stuff out on his own about what he needs to do.
Right. And then, I'm thinking how you used to grade, like give the grades out. We're going to give them 2 Fs because they lack focus and they're lacking the fundamentals.
Absolutely.
And you know what? It's just mind-boggling that, like you said, these guys are getting paid. So are the coaches. What is the problem? What is the major malfunction?
Well, I'm going to tell you this, Joe, and I know injuries are a part of football.
Absolutely.
And like Alex Smith yesterday, there was nothing he could do to protect himself when he was really an unfortunate injury, and we hope for nothing but the best. But these nagging little hamstring pulls and all this stuff that all these secondary guys are getting, I think, A, they're not in shape, and B, they're not going 100%. I'm telling you, Joe, when I played football, and I was fortunate, I never got injured, but you have to go 100% because I saw guys who were doing it halfway, and guess what? They always got hurt. That's when you get hurt, and that's why the Eagles have more injuries this year than they've had in the last couple of years because I don't think these guys are playing to 100%. I really do believe there's something to that.
Right, and you know what? Did you see all the coincidences with his injury and Theismann's injury?
Yeah.
November 18th, 1985, Theismann was sacked by Lawrence Taylor, right? It was on Monday Night Football. But the eerie thing was the score was the same.
Yeah.
The Redskins lost yesterday. They lost 23-21, but when Theismann got hurt, the Redskins actually beat the Giants 23-21.
Yeah, crazy.
That's pretty crazy.
I know that is crazy.
And you do feel bad
and
for
Theismann was there in the stands too. They showed him in the well as well. But it's crazy. Hey Joe, let's get our game ball out of the way. Each week we have a game ball that we give out, and for my man Paul Strauss there at the Styling Room at 943 North Hanover Street in Pottstown. Go ahead, Joe, because I got a different one for you, so I'm going to let you go first. Go ahead.
I already mentioned his name. I'm going to go with Andrew Luck.
Okay.
And I don't know if I should go with Andrew Luck or Frank Reich, but you know what? They've won 4 straight games since, and they haven't won 4 straight since 2014. Andrew Luck is back, but I think a lot of that has to do with Frank Reich and giving him the opportunity to succeed. 23 for 29. 6 incomplete passes, really?
Yeah.
297 yards and 3 TDs and no INTs. And guess what? Indianapolis is 5. Were they 5-5?
5-5.
They're in second place behind Houston.
Right.
And you know what? I like them. I
do too.
So
well, I've always liked
Luck.
Andrew Luck. I've always liked him, and obviously Frank Reich has helped him with his throwing motion and all that. I got one a little bit different for it. I want you to listen to this, Joe. There was a guy. He's a sophomore at Berks Catholic High School up here in Reading, and in October he was diagnosed with brain cancer. He has not played since October. He went to the doctors last week, and they okayed him to play. He was okay to play. They said there was nothing more they could do until they wanted to start their treatments. He played in a district playoff game. He returned a punt 80 yards for a touchdown and scored on a 1-yard run. He scored 2 touchdowns. Anthony Myers is getting my game ball, and God bless him, and we hope for nothing but the best for him. But could you imagine, he's
great.
a sophomore. He's 15 years old, and he was diagnosed with brain cancer.
I got chills right
Oh,
now.
absolutely.
That's beautiful, David.
I saw it on
That's
the news, and then I read about it in the paper, and I just couldn't believe it. I want to meet this young man, and I want to hope, hopefully the best, whatever can happen out of this thing. But he played football. His older brother is a senior, and his brother said, I was scared to death, but he said, my brother wasn't for one instance. He played like there was nothing wrong with him. 80-yard punt return and a 1-yard touchdown. Anthony Myers. That's awesome.
Beautiful.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Well, you know what, Joe? I hate to say this, but it looks like the Dallas Cowboys.
Now, you know what? I was just going to bring it up.
I know.
We're right on the same page, and we didn't talk today at all.
Right.
But we're on the same page. I'm telling you, Dave. You look at Dallas, 10 games in, right?
Yep.
10 games in.
Yep.
Dallas has given up 190 points.
I know.
Against. You look at the only other team that has less than that is the Baltimore Ravens at 181. I'm sorry, Tennessee has 10 games at 189.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm telling you, this Van Der Esch guy is for real.
He is for real.
For real.
Yeah.
And Amari Cooper.
Well, I talked to our girl today. She called me to try to rub it in. She wanted to know, she was like, what are you guys going to talk about tonight? Are you going to talk about the Cowboys? And I said, you, Robin. I said, Joe's not going to be there because he has to work late, but we'll be on the radio, or we'll be on the phone together, and I'll let him know that you called. But she wanted to call to needle us a little bit, and they're pretty excited down there.
Listen to me. A buddy of mine, he texted me the other day. And he's like, Atlanta or Arizona for suicide pool.
Right.
And I'm like, Atlanta. And then he texts me later. He goes, Atlanta or I forget who else it was. And I'm like, Atlanta. And I'm like, I didn't say lock, but Atlanta coming off the loss.
I know.
Atlanta coming off the loss, going home.
Yep.
Dallas coming off the win, and then going on the road.
Yeah.
I'm thinking there's no way that Atlanta's going to, not win this game, win the game. But then there comes Dallas, and you know what? At 5-5, and especially with Colt McCoy taking the reins, I don't know how much of a factor he's going to be.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you right now, and I said it. I think Dallas has a shot at winning that division.
Well, they're going to win that division, I think, because if the Eagles can't win it, we're the best team. But I tell you what, Dak Prescott and Jason Garrett ought to take Ezekiel Elliott out for the biggest steak meal that he ever would eat in his life, because Ezekiel Elliott has saved both their bacons, because Garrett was going to get fired, and Prescott wasn't going to get that extension. So he's been the guy.
You're 100% correct.
All right, let's do our 5-pack picks real quick. You beat me last week. You were 3-2. I was 2-3. So I'll try to even it up this week. We got to get this in real quick, Joe.
All right,
we got the big game tonight, the Chiefs and the Rams. What are you doing, bro?
I'm going to go Rams.
Okay.
I'm a McVay fan.
All right, well, I'm going to go Chiefs just to be different on this game. I got to go Kareem Hunt and his guys. I'm going to go Mahomes. On Thursday, we got the Skins and the Cowboys. What do you think about that one on Thanksgiving?
I'm going to go Dallas.
I got to take them too. I can't believe I'm taking them, but I'm taking Dallas. All right, another game on Thursday, the Falcons and the Saints. Did the Saints have a letdown in them or not?
I'm going to tell you, you know what? My first reaction was Atlanta, but I'm a Drew Brees fan. I got to go with Drew Brees.
I'm going Drew Brees as well. All right, Sunday night, Green Bay and Minnesota.
You know, I didn't realize there was so much of a disconnect with Rodgers and McCarthy. I was just reading that a little earlier. I'm going to go Green Bay. I'm going to go Green Bay.
All right, I'll go with the home team. I'll go to Vikings. And then here's the big one: the Giants at the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm going to go Eagles. I want to go Eagles because I have enough faith. You know, you have to have some type of fire down deep inside where you got to draw on that to rise above all this stuff. And whether you're a bench player, whether you're making a million or it's 18 million, you got to hit the field. You got to play ball. I'm going to still root for the Eagles to win this game.
I am
think
too.
they still have it in.
This is the last week. If they can't pull this off, though, I think I got to go somewhere else.
You're jumping ship.
I am.
Right, I got you.
Well, tell me a little bit. Now we got about a minute and a half here, Joe.
Right.
What are you looking for tonight in this big game between the Chiefs and the Rams? You know, it was moved to L.A. and the whole bit, but when it comes down to it, you still have football.
Yeah. I'm talking Gurley and I'm talking Hunt, and I'm thinking I'm going to take Gurley over Hunt. And then you look at Goff and you look at Mahomes, and you got two really great coaches with Reed and McVay. I'm thinking I'm going to give the edge to maybe even or a little bit of edge to McVay. I'm going to go Goff and Gurley, and that's why I took the Rams, because I think they just have a little bit of the edge plus the defense, Donald.
Well, I don't know. Marcus Peters in that secondary has been getting torched a little bit lately. He certainly has lost his edge, and without Talib back there, they're a little bit shaky. I'm not sure the condition of the Chiefs secondary, and if they give Goff some time, he has shown the ability to throw the ball down the field. My guy Cooper Kupp is out for the season. He was one of my wide receivers, so I had to pick up somebody else. But I don't know if it's going to hurt him that much or not, but he certainly was a third down security blanket for the Rams.
Yeah, he's the Wes Welker, the Julian Edelman, the Cole Beasley, the guy that's not afraid to go over the middle and get smacked. You need guys like that.
Absolutely.
Hey, listen, real quick, New Orleans.
Yeah.
You know the only loss of the season was Week 1.
I know, to Tampa Bay.
To Tampa Bay. Do you believe that? Mm-hmm. And now Winston's back as a starting quarterback in Tampa Bay.
It's crazy out there.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, buddy, you have a good Thanksgiving. You guys having family?
Too, Dave.
You having the family over?
Yeah.
Okay.
My brother-in-law, my niece, and all my kids will be here, and my grandson. So it's going to be good.
Good. Well, I'm glad you got some time off to spend it with your family, and don't forget, in 2 weeks we'll see you back here. We'll be at the Hooks in 2 weeks.
We'll be at the Hooks,
hopefully
right?
we'll make it. All right.
I got you. Yep.
All right, bud. All right,
Happy
man.
Thanksgiving,
Thanks.
everybody.
Thanks again, man.
Dave.
Yep. Happy
Take care.
Thanksgiving, Joe. All right, don't forget, in 2 weeks we'll be at the Hooks over in Boyertown, our little friendship hook and ladder for our soup cook-off. That's always a lot of fun. Stop on by. Neil Olkowitz will be there. We got a Redskin jersey to give away. And then 2 weeks after that, the 17th, we'll be at Doc's Irish Pub for our annual Christmas show. Santa and a whole bunch of guests will be there as well. Hey, listen, from the Monday Morning Quarterback and all the people here at the PCTV Network studios, have a great Thanksgiving. I don't know what I'm going to do Thursday morning without high school football. The first time in over 50 years, I will not be attending a football game on Thanksgiving morning. It's going to be a little different. Anyway, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I'm Dave Ridenour, the Monday Morning Quarterback. We'll see you later.